we are going to look at arrays in JavaScript. In Snap or BYOB, these things were called lists. In most languages, they're called arrays or array lists. There's actually a difference between an array and array list, but we're not going to worry about that. In JavaScript, these things are called arrays. So an array is, in fact, just a list of items. So here I have named, this is how you declare it, I've named my array names, var names, and it is, in fact, a new array. And here's how I can give it some initial values. So I have initialized my new array of names with 5 names. These are the names in my array. So if I want to access some particular item in the array, this is how you do it. You say names, and the notation is use these square brackets, and then you stick some number in here or a variable in here that represents a number. So if I print out names2, and I'll do this, you might be slightly surprised at the output. Well, I was already running there. But names2 is in fact Sam, because in JavaScript and in most programming languages, you start counting at 0. So Bob would be name 0, Sue would be 1, Sam is 2. In fact, I could say name 0, and if I save this and refresh it, you can see that in fact I get Bob. If I want to get the last item, that is called 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I could get item number 4 like that, which I will do, and this is item number 4, of course, is Jim. Or the other way of doing it, if you don't know how long an array is, you can get the length of that array by using the .length variable there, .length there. So basically what this is saying is give me the item that is at the length position. Now this is going to actually be a little bit funny here, because the length of this array is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but the last position is 4. Maybe I'll run it this way and you'll see it won't work, but you'll see why. Well, then we'll fix it. Okay, so I run it like this. You'll see I get undefined because remember, the length of it is 1 more than the last position. So if I want the last position, it's length minus 1. And I'll give this a go. You have to be careful about going past the end. In fact, that is Jim. So hopefully that makes sense. So I'm just going to go over some other basic things that you might want to do with arrays. So this next chunk of code here, this iterates through the array. It goes from 0, I have a variable from 0 to less than the length. Again, remember the length is actually 1 past the last index, right? The length of this is 5, but the indexes go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to make x go from 0 to less than the length, and I'm going to print out, and of course this just gives me a line break, names x, and if I run this thing, of course, I'm going to get the names in my array. I have a space here, a line break here initially because I have a line break. These are the names in my array. So that's it. If I want to, I'm just going to delete these as I go. If I want to add a name to my array, I am going to add it. Again, this is a little weird, but I'm going to say I want names.length position. Remember, the thing in here is the position. I'm adding a new one at the length of the array. Remember, the length of the array is 5. So this says add Liz to position 5, because the length is always 1 past the last index. So let me save that, and now actually let me uncomment this. So this should add Liz, and then this is going to print out, of course, this is what we had before, this is going to print out all the names, and if I refresh that, oops, save it, refresh it, I should get all of the names, and now Liz has been added because I added Liz here. Now if I tried to add Liz past the end, like we could see what happens. Let's say I want to add Liz to position 10. I'll save it. Clearly that's past the end of the array, and let me refresh it. And you can see that in fact it put Liz at position 10, but now I have all these undefineds there. So if you're going to add something to the end of the array, you want to add it to the position which is the length of the array, because the length is 1 past it. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, a couple more things real quick. So you know how to print out an array, you know about the indexes of the array. So let's delete something from the array. That is also handy to do. Now, there are plenty of other array functions, and you can look them up, and I suggest that you do. But these are the basic ones. How do you add something? How do you print out an array? How do you remove something? And then, of course, a loop you could just use to search for something in an array as well. So the word splice is how you remove something from an array. A splice is, I don't know, remove something. So this basically what this does is it says, look at array names, and I want you to splice position 3, starting at position 3, one item. So I think you can probably guess what's going to happen. Position 3, 0, 1, 2, 3 is Pat. Pat's going to get spliced out. And let's give it a run and see what we have. So Pat got spliced out, and we went right from Sam to Jim. Now, if I had, let's do another one. Let's say I want to start at position 1, and I want to remove the next 2 items. What do you think that's going to do? Well, you probably guessed. Starting at position 1, 0, 1, it removed 2 items. So Sue and Sam are removed, and it went right from Bob to Pat and then Jim. So those are some basic things that you might want to do with an array, and hopefully this makes sense. Again, it's very similar to lists that we used in BYOB. All right, thanks for watching.